Okay, for bonus marks, I've asked you to create Jeopardy slides for me. So I'll show you how to do that. So here you see, so this is the template that I'm going to use for any Jeopardy that I'm making to present to a class and use as a review. So there's just going to be a home slide. And then on slide 2, I'm going to have the selector screen where there's the various topics that we're doing or reviewing, and then point values. Okay, and so what I've asked you to do is make me one of these slides. So I have one made here. So when Jeopardy goes, right, so the harder questions are worth more points. The easier questions are worth easy. So I've asked you to rank 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Um, so as an example, I've used something from grade 6, air and aerodynamics, and then as adaptations of birds. So I'll show you here from from the current slide. I'll show you how the slide works. So in Jeopardy, the format is that you're given an answer, and then from that answer you have to come up and pose a question, which that answer is goes with. So for Hollow Bones, we were playing Jeopardy. Hollow Bones, what is an adaptation birds have that allows them to fly? Would be the question. So if I asked you that, you said Hollow Bones would be the right answer. So here I have this image, and if I just click on that image, what is an adaptation that helps birds fly? So there is the quote-unquote answer to the Jeopardy slide, right? So that's the question you have to come up with, and you also have to have an answer there. Answer goes at the top, visible, and then the question's hidden. You'll see down here, I have this little home button. Now if I go over it, there's a link. I'm going to click on that, and that's going to take me back to slide number 2. I'm going to show you how to do that, and then that way, right, so for example, bird flight is the first one, and there it is. That question's been answered. So I'll show you how to make that whole thing. So go home, and I'm going to say new slide. I'm going to use title and content. So I'll show you how to make the same slide that I just had. So I'm going to use, again, Hollow Bones. So I'll type in Hollow Bones, and you can come up with a point value. So if you think it's a really hard, really difficult slide that you come up with answering question, then make it out of 50. If it's kind of moderate, maybe 20 or 30. If it's easy, 10. I'm going to go with 10 just to show you. Then down here you see there's click add text, but you'll probably also see that there's these other options here. So if you want to put in an image, you're going to go to clip art, because I want you to have an image. So we can go to clip art, search for bird, and there's the bird I use. We'll use a different one. Let's use birds on the branches. Will that work? Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So there's some birds in the branches of the tree. So good. So now you've got your image, but you also need to put that question in behind there. So what we can do is we can go to the insert tab. So you go insert, and in here you can find a text box. So click on that text box, and now we have this little tool that's going to let us draw it. So we'll draw it right over our image. Hollow Bones, what is an adaptation that allows birds to fly? And you can't see part of it because of that image there, but now if I click out of that, we can see the answer. We don't want to see the answer. We want the image to hide it. So what we can do is we'll click on the text box, and we can go to format. And this is the format of the text box within it. If we go over to the right hand side here, you see there's a send to back option. And what that does, you can see the description there, sends the selected object behind all other objects. We want behind the picture, so we'll click on that. And presto. Now if we move that, oh, we still have the question, but we can hide that question. So, perfect. Now, on mine, when we clicked, that image disappeared. It flew out of the bottom. So I'll show you how to do that now. So click on the image. And now in PowerPoint, you can do what are known as animations. Okay. For that picture, we're going to make a custom animation. So here's this one that pops up, and we're going to add an effect. And we want that image to leave. We want it to exit the panel, right? So you can do whatever when you want. I'm going to use fly out. So click on fly out, and I want it to fly out on a click. So we'll go to this slide. Somebody will answer that slide, and then all we have to do is click on the smartboard, click on the computer, and then that slide leaves. and presto, we have the answer, right? So that's all going to work. So now we can get out of this because we have that set. There we go. Last thing we need is we need that home button. Okay, we need that button to take us back to slide 2. So we're going to go back to insert, and put in a text box, and you can use an image, you can insert whatever you want, as long as there's something distinct there that links back to the second slide. So I'll say home. Now what I can do with this, if I highlight that word, go back to insert, you'll see I can insert a hyperlink. So a hyperlink is just a link that takes you somewhere else, right, when you click on it. So I'll go in there and you see there's some options there. There's a file or a web page, there's a place in this document, new document, or an email address. Well, we want to place in this document specifically that second slide. So there you see slide 2. So I want to go back to slide 2. So that if we answer that question, picture disappears, we get the answer, or the question to the answer, and now I want to go back to home, right? I don't want to have to scroll through all these PowerPoint slides, go back home. So slide 2, there it is. Now if we go into our presentation, I'll show you that again. So if I want to hyperlink this, right, hyperlink, presto, slide 2, okay. So now if we go through and make a slideshow, this is what should happen. So we go from current slide, hollow bones. Somebody in the class has a response to that. They say, what is an adaptation that lets birds fly? Well, you want to find out if that's the right answer or not. So we clicked. There's your answer. Now, okay, cool, that person gets 10 points. We want to go back to the home screen. There we go. Now we can click on a different topic. That's how to create your Jeopardy PowerPoint slide in